You have it all in your heart and in your soul, but all you need is a little guidance. Welcome to Motivational Radio France with your host, Longi Agaha from Paris.
So that was very great because of, you need to, but everything boils down to individual developed, because the fact that you can connect, or you are able to connect to somebody in Uganda or New York or New Zealand, it still boils down to your personality, the knowledge you have, because for you to connect, you must be knowledgeable in one thing, right?
That's very true.
Okay. So the base must be to have the wherewithal and the skills to connect.
Yes, that's true.
All right.
That's why the most important thing really is reputation, which makes it easy when connecting with people across various job sectors, because people care about more about what you can bring to the table, what you can when collaboration is a process. That's very true.
Right. The quality of the individual makes it, because he can connect, but if you can't keep pace with the connection, then it breaks down.
Absolutely. That's very true.
So personal knowledge is the key thing, developing yourself, which comes down to what you said before, finding the right thing that you are gifted to do in this world.
Yes, that's true.
So what goes around comes around.
That's true.
Yes, because if you have the skills and you're able to identify the real skills, that the real thing that you came to this world to do, and then you can now expand your horizon. You can expand your world from anywhere you are.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's very true.
So let's go to the next one, which is keeping pace with the trends in your industry. How do you keep that pace? Do you need to jump around?
Not at all. Not at all. This is a very difficult question to answer as well, because when in every career, because we live in a knowledge-driven economy, we live in an intellectually stimulated economy globally, you realize that to keep pace with your industry requires particular skill set, requires particular commitment, and requires particular demands. And for instance, I give you this example. Like some months ago, I was speaking at a conference in Abuja, and it was on trend spotting. And there were a group of participants at the conference, and somebody asked the particular question: how can individuals keep trends within their industry? And so at that moment, I felt inspired to do more research along these lines. And what I discovered was that within every industry, there is the application of Pareto principle, which talks about the fact that 80%, 80% of information is available on 20% of the platforms. You can apply it across every sector. So what an individual needs to do is to find out who are the trend spotters within my industry. What are the trend spotting activities within my industry? And this starts by finding out who are the movers and shakers of my industry, because within every industry, there are individuals, there are organizations that move the trend at each point in time. So to keep pace within one industry, the individual within a profession needs to first of all find out, do his own bit of research or her own bit of research to find out who are the organizations and individuals that move the trend within this industry. And two is, what are the platforms for information that contain 80% of the knowledge base I need within this industry. And that was why within my field of project management, that was why I joined the Project Management Institute, because they are the world leading in terms of project management. And that's why I'm working hard at joining the National Speakers Association based in the US, because I know that within that space, they control most of the trends within the speaking industry internationally. And that's why it's good for a speaker as well to be a part of the Toastmasters Club, for instance. See, these are just some bits of advice. These are not givens. These are not they're not cast in stone, but they're just examples. So to keep pace within trends in an industry, an individual needs to first of all make a critical commitment towards finding out how the Pareto principle is distributed within that industry, and that is finding out where 80% of the knowledge base within that industry lies. And one way is to find out what are the information platforms available within this industry and leveraging as much as possible on them. Because I realize also that because of the multiplicity of knowledge, some people belong to associations and organizations and subscribe to magazines, to papers, etc., but don't read these things, don't attend meetings, or attend meetings and don't gain the best out of them. So apart from just belonging to these platforms after finding them out, it's important for a personal commitment to maximizing them, to keep pace within the industry.
Okay. So you're trying to say that it boils down to the individual.
Yes, absolutely. And personal commitment as well to discovering the trends within that industry. He also or she also needs to discover what is the knowledge distribution within that industry. Who or what organization controls the majority of the information within the industry, and networking as much as possible within that industry to find out the moving trend. Yes.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to say, but let us put it this way. Somebody who is in Lagos or somewhere in Somalia or in Tanzania or anywhere in the world or in Iraq, for example, and these guys are very poor and they don't have access to internet, because I believe that what all the things you're saying here is internet based, more or less.
Not really. Okay, I think I'll customize it to fit what you just described. Mm-hmm. Now, for instance, a shoemaker in Lagos, because even at the early part of my career, I used to work very much within Lagos and the Alaba market and computer village. So I understand the metrics, the dynamics within that substrata. Mm-hmm. Now, imagine a shoemaker within computer village, for instance, who wants to keep pace within the trends in this industry. What he needs to do is to, first of all, be open-minded to change. And that's where it starts from, because you realize that even when you deal with, when you have a working relationship with some of these artisans or skillful individuals, you realize that they're not so much flexible to change. They want to keep applying the same methodologies they've been using, all right, to deal with current challenges. You can use old principles to deal with new problems. So what these people need to do is to, as much as possible, network with others. Because if you're even within whatever the remotest location is, if you're going to be able to make impact or be able to make money from your field or industry, you would need to keep tabs with other people in that industry to always know, okay, what kind of color of shoe polish do people prefer? How do my customers prefer it? Do they like it to be this way or that way? Is to keep asking questions regularly to keep pace within the industry, and which also still has to do with the bigger picture I described earlier on, which is finding information. It has to do with information. It has to do with for an individual to keep on satisfying whether customer or employee or employer, whatever the source of payment is within the revenue stream, for instance. So I still maintain that keeping pace with trends within the industry demands asking pertinent questions that will lead to information gathering, to making the right decisions within that particular industry. For instance, a speaker within Nigeria who is just upcoming, to keep pace within the industry, and must realize that nowadays people don't care so much about motivation again, more than they care about pragmatic application of knowledge. So that trend has shifted, and that's why most speakers now use what a principle called a business model that has to do with more of offering freebies in exchange for reputation. And that's why some speakers will go to schools, for instance, to speak for free at no cost. All right, so as to build a level of reputation and followership base that would also help in their corporate trainings. So now most speakers have moved from general speaking or speaking to size, according to size, or speaking at huge conferences, to delivering bespoke training to organizations, knowing that because of that shifting trend, a lot of people now prefer to go in-house for organizational trainings than before, when the motivational sector was budding and people would love to pay for general conferences. So that is the trend, and the person who is going to succeed within any industry must realize that it's important to keep pace with the trends within that industry. And to do that, must keep asking questions, keep adapting, keep evolving, and keep changing to fit with the demands of the trends within the industry.
To have Longi Agahun speak at any of your organization's activities, churches, schools, companies, or any other platform, please call 081-0476-1930 or +33 6 0920-1972. Alternatively, or log on to www.agahunlongi.com. Thank you.